sure the contents of this video will be very useful for everyone in the service sector, but I feel it might have more relevance for those in the hospitality and travel and tourism segment, or for any customer-facing role, be it airlines or that sort of industries. We did create a playlist for you guys, some videos especially for those in the hospitality sector, in which I shared stories from my own experience and how some of those principles can be applied to make a successful career in the hospitality industry. So I have a couple of suggestions. Towards the end of this video, we will share that playlist with you. If you are someone who works in the hospitality industry, go watch that particular series. I think there'll be great value addition. Second, I want to share one mental characteristic, one mindset that will really help you succeed in the hospitality industry, in the customer service facing roles. And that is the mindset of ownership. Mindset of ownership. If you are able to exhibit this trait, and if you are able to work with this mindset of ownership, which means you don't ever fall into this trap, oh, this job is not for my department, because you work from a mindset that the customer is the responsibility of every department, you will certainly find that you are in the tiny minority of people who have a very positive, a very entrepreneurial attitude to working in the industry. If you work with an ownership mindset. Let me give you an example. I was at a wonderful property not too long ago, and this particular hotel chain makes very nice French pastries for breakfast, and I love having one of those along with my morning coffee. However, I do like it a little bit warmed up, so I requested the chef who was standing behind the counter. I said, could you warm it up for me, please, but don't do it in a microwave because that makes it very soggy. Can you take it back to the kitchen and place it under the salamander or some sort of heat so that it's a little warm and a little crisp? And he said, sure, no problem. Now, I didn't know he was there in the fruit section. He could have told me very well, sir, you know, perhaps you should ask the service staff to do it for you, etc., etc. Now, there's two problems to this situation. A, he said, yes, I'll do it for you. B, he didn't follow through. He did not take ownership of that task end to end. Then what I mean is that 30 minutes passed by and I did not have that warm croissant that I was looking for, because he said, when I went next to the counter, he said, well, did you get your warm croissant? I said, well, no, I didn't. He said, I told that particular guy to get it for you. And what happened here is, I left the property that particular breakfast without enjoying one of my favorite morning breakfast pastries, because a certain team member did not take ownership. And this is a small example. I mean, I'm not holding it against that person. I understand he had a lot to take care of that day. What I'm trying to illustrate is this, guys, what I'm trying to share with you is this. When you don't take ownership, you leave a huge gap open for a promise that is not fulfilled, for a promise that your hotel, your property, your brand makes to the customer, and you're part of the team that delivers that promise, but is not delivered because your thinking was narrow, your thinking was only restricted to your role or to the uniform you're wearing. Well, I'm front desk, so my responsibility is only thus far, or I'm housekeeping and my responsibility is so far. But the heart of the matter is, the customer is everyone's responsibility, and caring does not cost a lot of money. It just costs a little bit of attention. And if it is the priority of every team member, you will have a great work environment in which everyone flourishes. So, to sum up this video, I re-emphasize this fact. If you have just started working in the hospitality industry, and if you adopt the ownership mindset, which means that if I start something for a customer, I will follow through. If I don't follow through myself, I'll make sure somebody else has done it. But I will check back in the end to make sure that task was finally completed or not. This mindset of taking responsibility all the way to the end will put you in a small minority of people who really excel at whatever they do. And you know what, as I've shared in several other videos before, it just takes a few steps ahead of ordinary to become extraordinary. This is how people succeed in this industry. People who take charge, people who take ownership of it, and people who see things through from an entrepreneurial mindset. So here goes. This special video was for our service sector staff, and don't forget to watch the playlist towards the end of this video, which will take you into certain other aspects more in depth. Let me know what you think about this, and we'll create more videos for you guys, those in the service sector, aviation, hospitality, retail, insurance, banking, etc. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.